Museum this year also launched a live webcast themed Palace Museum for the New Year and Peace in Winter. So that is also why we bring out this live today. And of course, we know that the Summer Paris, Paris Museum is very beautiful in different seasons. So we brought to you that how it looks in winter or in the spring, in snow, in raining, and let's also show you some video clips. All right, welcome back. Let's just experience the beauty of the Forbidden City, and let's continue our live streaming. And of course, today is the first day of the year of the ox at the Forbidden City, and we will also show you more details today to look at and also learn about its architecture features and the cultural connotation. And that is the Ningshou Palace. So we talk about Ningshou Palace. Actually, that's a very special place. That is the place where the treasure museum is located, and it is actually built by Qianlong Emperor. And he said that when he was in office, he said that he would like to be in the office for 60 years. When he reached 60s, and he would like to give the administration to his predecessors, and that is why he also built this museum for his retirement. So talk about Ningshou Palace. Actually is a full dedication made by Qianlong Emperor, and as also actually a very beautiful retire years spent by him. So we talk about that for today's live streaming. We will head our way to Ningshou Palace. And we talk about that this is Jiulongbi, and that is also the A9 dragon screen. So starting from here, we will bring you the whole beauty of Ningshou Palace. So we talk about this actually at the outside, or the very south part of the Ningshou Palace, and this wall actually was built at the 37 years of Qianlong. So actually, this is called the Nine Dragon screen. Basically, there were 9 dragons. And also, you look at actually, this is more like a 3D effect, and also they also divided the 9 dragons into 5 groups. And also we talk about because Chinese culture we have yin and yang, right? So for number 9, that's the maximum number. So we talk about 9 and 5 always represent the power of the empire. So we talk about empire, that's the representation of 9 and 5. And we also talk about the odd number actually represent the yang, and even number actually is yin. So we talk about 9 and 5 always very important in the numbers. So we talk about that when the things reach its peak. So we always say they have that number 9 or 5 with it, that also have the greatest auspicious and powerful meaning. So especially for the empire or the imperial families, you always can find that you always like to use the 9 or 5 numbers, or the numbers that the time, the multiple of 9 or 5. So you always can find the 9 and the 5. And we talk about actually this is all made by the colored glaze. In total, that's around 275. But actually, one out of that 275 colored glaze actually is not really glaze. So let's find out where it is. And we had a very little young boy pointed out to us. He's saying that this one is this piece a little bit different. Yes, indeed, for this 9 dragon color glazed screen or color glazed wall, actually is all made by these colored glaze. But one out of that in the right dot, that is the only one piece actually made by wood. So we talk about back to the old days that the architecture building, actually the workers actually broken one of the pieces, and they find the A1 to fill in that gap and also colored it. And actually back then no one really found that. And with the time going, when these colors at the surface faded, then people started to realize that that piece is a little bit different. It's very special. So we talk about in Ming and Qing dynasty. We talk about if we want to build up these kind of dedicate or a dedicate wall. So we talk about that they always prepared a large number of backups. So that's for prepare some buffers for the building, and that is also actually make some storage for the later on repairment and restoration. So look at actually today, that's a Chinese holiday. People here to celebrate a Chinese New Year this year. And we'll see actually the parents bring their kids coming here to experience the beauty of the ancient culture and also learn more about the architectural features. So this is also a titled activity for celebrating the New Year. As the Palace Museum for the New Year and Peace in Winter. This is also, we look at this. This is called Yulu. And we're heading to the Ningshou Palace. And we are also at the Meridian Pass. And we are right now in front of the front gate. So I believe that this gate actually even can compare to Wumen. So that's with the A5 gate of the big gate. So we talk about Wumen, that's the Meridian Gate. So we talk about the Forbidden City actually with 4 gates. So we talk about Wumen. You look at here, the A3 gates actually facing to south, and the other 2 doors actually facing to the east and the west. So we talk about that the 5 gates actually, if you look at from the front side, so we only can see 3 gates facing to the north. But if you look at the other 2 doors, actually it's smaller than the 3 big ones in the middle. And we also look at this Huangji Gate, actually also have the roof, so that's the very different features. So that's the first gate to the Ningshou Palace, and then we will very soon approach to the second gate. So that's the Ningshou Gate. So we talk about here, this is a very large places, and we look at this actually is the places always to serve as the festival places. So for this is very a large spatial places, and here we go give you a full look, a larger picture of the square. So this is a very large place. So in the old days, there were a lot of the large activities going on. And also look at all these trees, actually they're all evergreen. And this is all the pine trees. In total, 18 trees, and with 9 at each side. And also look at it maybe like the bonsai. And you look at all these ones, they are quite layered and like a big umbrella. And we also look at this is from the Qing dynasty. You look at this is a very old picture, but you look at actually back then they already had these kind of the tree holders to give that additional support to these pine trees. So talk about old days. that this is the a beginning of the new year. So that's also the very first day of the new year. So talk about the Chinese Lunar New Year. So we talk about the first day because this was the only calendar they followed. So that's the first day they called Yuandan, the beginning of the year. But of course, we talk about the Chinese Lunar New Year. Actually, that's not fixed. So we talk about the every day or the every year, the New Year and the beginning of the New Year is always different. So we talk about especially at the different dynasties, they also have a different the days and months to mark the beginning of the new year. So right now we follow the habit set out by the Han Dynasty. So right now we see that the first day that is for the welcoming the deities of the heavens and the earth, and it's also a very important day of the year. And this is Ningshou Gate. So a lot of people cannot really know exactly where the gate is or which this is gate for. So back to the Qianlong period, is the gate also the renovated? So we look at this is actually built up by the, can compare that, it's kind of like 5 rooms. That's for the total lands. And if you look at the width, that's around 3 rooms. And that's built up on the white marbles. And also they have the 2 lions in front of the gate. And this is the gold plating lines. And this is actually similar, the design and also layout compared to the gate in front of the palace of heavenly purity. And they back then used pure copper, around 6,000 tons. And actually, this is use the pure gold around the 300 tons, and also actually this is very complicated, and the whole process is really time-consuming and effort required. And the whole building actually rebuilt or renovated in the Qianlong dynasty, Qianlong period, as the Qing dynasty. And also back then, the whole place is renamed to the Ningshou Palace. And before the renovation, actually this was the places for the wives of the empires. And for Ningshou Palace is also divided into 2 parts, in the front part and also the inner part. So Ningshou Palace actually is not only just one hall or one palace, so it's not referred to one single structure or architecture. So this is actually including a very large number of buildings together. So we always talk about the Ningshou Palace area. So we talk about the Taihe Dian, the hall of the supreme harmony, and always have the Taihe Gate. And this is the Ningshou Palace. So we talk about that's the Huangji Dian, that's the hall of Huangji. So basically, you can see that the Paris always have the same name gate. So this is the Huangji Palace, the hall of Huangji. So that's the look at that's the in the right square part. So that's also in front of that hall, they have the gate of Huangji, and also this is the place called Ningshou. So they also preserved the name of Ningshou and also built the Ningshou Gate. And this actually written in two languages. So the one language that's the language of the Manchus. So we talk about the Taihe, the hall of supreme harmony, at the very beginning called the Fengtian Dian. And then later on changed the name to Huangji Dian, and then later on it fixed its name as Taihe Dian, the hall of supreme harmony. And this is actually known as the outer court. So we talk about the outer court, actually that's the southern portion of the Forbidden City, featuring three main halls, and the Taihe Dian, the hall of supreme harmony, actually located in this outer court. And we talk about that the Huangji actually is also talk about that the emperor family would like to bring that the positive or the best wishes to its people, so that including the health, prosperity, and the peace, and also the morality, and also the personalities. So this is the Huangji Hall or the Huangji Dian. So this is also look at the roof actually follow the highest standard of the hierarchies. So look at that this is also the detailed pattern, the graphics on the roof, and we talk about for the different level or architecture that follow the different hierarchies. So we look at the details of this building, this architecture. Actually, that's all follow the highest standard. So we look at the palace of the heavenly purity that also have these kind of the road in the middle. So we look at the whole layout, actually it's very similar. So look at this is actually the same layout compared to the hall of the palace of the heavenly purity. And let's first look at this. This is the San Dialo. So we talk about the sundials actually show very precise time. So basically look at the shadow of the sun, know exactly the time. So we talk about that the wider plate actually that's parallel to the equator. So that's for the first half of the year, we actually look at the time from the front of the sundial, and for the second half of the year, we should read the time from the back of the sundial. And this one is the measure, or the measuring vessel, the measuring meters. The maximum is actually can measure the 2 liters. And we talk about that before, that agriculture always took the very important role. And also we talk about actually this is also give a symbol of the national prosperity and good harvest. So we look at the very important palace, the very important the hall of supreme harmony, and also look at the palace of heavenly purity. You always can find this kind of the equipment or layout. So we also look at this is the white marble. So this is kind of a base. So this is base for what? So we talk about for the new year, we also will let the this kind of the lantern. So that's the lantern holder basically. So we light up the lantern for the celebrating the new year, and sometimes they also light up the lantern that's for longevity. So that is also bring the additional festive air to the palace. So we talk about that in the palace, they always have this kind of the festival celebration, and also the rituals. And also talk about these places because it's a really large open space. So besides these festive celebrations, they also actually hold the dinners for elderlies. So basically, the emperor invited the elderlies, seniors, to the palace and also treat them with a very nice meal. So this kind of the dinner actually is held 4 times. So that's happened in the Changchun Park, and also 2 times in the Palace of the Heavenly Purity, and 1 time here in Ningshou Palace. So a dinner for elderly actually happened here in this Huangji Hall. Actually was also the largest in size, and also the very last time to hold this kind of dinner. So basically they invited the officials above 60 years old, and also the civilian 70 years old to these places. So basically gathered a very large number of people. But back then, when the Emperor Qianlong held this kind of dinner, also in his 86. So this is talk about the longevity and also respect to the elderly people. So back then, actually, is also the people with even larger age, so also got these kind of the items from Tianlong. And they also actually back then was the two people of 100 years old. So talk about the total number of people, and 3,000 people actually here for the dinner, and also 1,000 in addition also received the items given by the empire. So it's not really for the accommodation to that 3,000 people all here. So we talk about actually this is all in the Ningshou Palace area. So talk about the weather today is quite warm, but back then we talk about that the dinner held here in the Huangji Hall actually is a very cold day, snowing. And also Tianlong himself also wrote it down in a poem. And it's also the show us the additional evidence that day actually is snowing, and also they enjoy the hot pot as the dinner. So it's very warm and enjoying the very nice, beautiful snow here with this very magnificent architecture. So we can tell it should be a very nice dinner. And then let's go to the outer court to see another hall. That's the Hall of Ningshou. So we are still here at the outer court of the Ningshou Palace area. So that's including two big buildings. One is the Huangji Hall, and the other one is the Ningshou Hall. So we talk about Ningshou Palace. That's the cluster of the buildings. So we talk about that for the Huangji Hall. We talk about actually that's the places that the empire would like to bring the best wishes, the good health, the fortune, the good habits, the personality to its people. And the other key building here is the Hall of Ningshou. So we also found that the two gates, that's the gate of the Huangji and the gate of Ningshou. So the whole place is actually with very nice, auspicious meanings. So we talk about the Ningshou Hall and the Huangji Hall is so close to each other. And we look at this is the Ningshou Hall. So we found that the building, the architecture actually similar as the another hall, as the Kunninggong, as the Kunning Palace, that's the inner court. So we talk about Kunninggong, that's the palace of the earthly tranquility. But we look at the architecture features, actually look at the details, that very subtle details compared to Kunninggong or the palace of the earthly tranquility. Actually, that's a little bit lower level compared to the Kunninggong. So for based on the level of rankings, so this actually rank lower compared to Kunninggong. And we talk about that, please be very careful when you visit the Forbidden City, because the talk about the every piece here, that's the piece of the cultural relics. And this is the way how they open the window. And this is also a feature of a mantle. And we also look at the gate or the door. Actually, the door not really open in the middle part, open at the right-hand side. So we also talk it's like a pocket gate. So we talk about the look and arrangement of the Ningshou Palace, actually quite similar as the Kunninggong, and the inner arrangement also quite similar as the Kunninggong. Once again, Kunninggong is the palace of earthly tranquility. So right now, this place actually is the place, a treasure museum. And we look at this is the stone drums. Actually, this total 10. The drums, that the stone drums actually also with the storytellings on each of the stones. So they tell you about the story happened, and also talk about the very hard journey about the cultural relics moving to the south because of the war invaded by the Japanese troops. So the people you look at here, they prepared to move all these precious cultural relics from south to north. So the stone drums from Nanjing to Shanxi to Sichuan. That's the middle part of China. And they also need to climb to the altitude of 3,000 meters. It also happened in a very cold, snowing day. So it's a hard journey. And they also trapped in the middle of the mountains. And back to the 1959, the stone drums back to the palace museum. We talk about all these the stone drums. Actually, that's the epitome of the cultural relics moving south. So we talk about all different kinds of the accidents or incidents actually happened during the whole journey. But a good thing is that it is also a miracle that the cultural relics actually did not really damage during all these process. Because of all the people, because they really devoted their lives to save and protect our cultural relics. Because of their hard work, their efforts, today we have this opportunity to enjoy the very precious cultural relics. So right now we're coming to the treasure museum. Actually, this is also the home to the assets from the Qing dynasty. And here we will find that the gold and silver works. And this is what we call Ru Yi. And this is a gift prepared by the officials to celebrate the 60th birthday of the Emperor Qianlong. And also wish everyone a good luck and also a prosperous year in the year of the ox. So this is the altar places of the Ningshou Palace area. let's also head our way to the inner court. So we will also experience the back of the Ningshou Palace. And our viewers may find that two chimneys. So these chimneys actually link to the heating system and also the cooking system. So that's at the east and the west side of the Ningshou Palace. So we talk about the in the winter heating was very important. So basically they burn the fires so that provide the heat to warm and help to increase the temperature inside the palace. And we talk about actually the very important way to keep warmth of the palace in the winter time. And we talk about their windows actually is 2 layers, and also their gates did not open in front of the palace, actually opened as the pocket at the side of the palace. So this is also the way to keep the temperature at a quite comparatively high level in the winter period. And this week talk about this street basically that's divided the outer or separate the outer place and inner place. So that's separate the we talk about the outer court and inner court. So inside the inner court, they have the places to watch the operas and also the parks for the emperor. And we talk about they have the Yangxing Dian or the Hall of Yangxing. So we always can find the gate in front of that the hall. That's the also the gate of Yangxing. And also at the side, as at the left hand side, so that's the park we talk about. That's the Qianlong Park. So this is the picture, and also this is the Yangxing Gate. That's the gate in front of the Yangxing Hall. So as we just learned from the previous gate, so we know that from the architecture, from the pattern on the roof, and also from that's the lion. In front of the gate, you know more or less that the ranking or the hierarchy of the whole building actually also quite a high level. We talk about colored glaze, actually something frequently seen in the Forbidden City. And look at actually the key color here, see a green and also the highlighted by yellow. And in the middle, we can see that the two Mandarin ducks were tumbling in the water, so they're playing in the water. And we talk about the Forbidden City, actually different gate, different way actually for the different level or hierarchy of people. And we also talk about the a color graded wall actually for the different pattern actually also represents the a different level of the people that who should go this way. So from the pattern and from the dedicated wall actually that's also they show you the different hierarchy of the people. And also we talk about the some the walls they also have a different roles and some for just the dedication and some also help to protect the privacy. And we talk about these poles that's the a for the a Latin pole and the other one is a flag pole. So we talk about this is sometimes for the a Chinese red lantern for New Year and sometimes also have the a longevity lantern. And for the a flagpole, actually that's also played the role of the meteorology. So we actually know the direction of the wind from the flag. So if you're familiar with Forbidden City, you know there's another hall called Yangxingdian, or the hall of moral cultivation, or the mental cultivation. So that's the 8 places for the emperor to deal with the administration work or the office work. So for the emperors, this is from the emperor Tianlong. He said that you should be really dedicated yourself when you were in office. And when you retired, you should be clean your mind and heart and limit your desires. So that is why we have the hall. So for the Yangxingdian, that's the hall for the emperor to work. And Yangxingdian, that's basically this is the places talk about that the emperors when you're off your duty, you are not in the office anymore, you should clean your heart and limit your desire. So we talk about the winter sweet. So that is something we always can find in winter. So this is some similarity that you can find in these two halls. So we talk about the outer layout and also the inner arrangement is more or less the same. So that's the comparison of the hall of the moral cultivation. Emperor Tianlong actually always held the very important activities in his retirement here. So this is also the retirement hall. Let's think about this. So this is a retirement, a living places for the Emperor Tianlong. So he always had the very important activities here after he retired. So in his 70s, he also actually held dinners to treat the officials here. And this is how they channel the raining water. So that's the outfall not only for the raining days and also for the snows. And we also can find the a color painting. So this kind of color painting actually from Jiangsu province, and you can see they have different themes. You can find that a different storytelling here. We have people stories, and also you can see the a flora. And they also have a different styles. So they have that a Suzhou style color painting and also the a dragon's pattern painting. So here in front of the Hall of Yangxing, actually, we preserve the feature of the a Suzhou featured color painting. So we also would like to show you a display. It's not really quite easier for people to pay attention. So this one we talk about the sundial. So we have a moondial, we have sundial, and also we have the dielectric, both a sun and moon. So we talk about that for the a sundial. That's the basically have the a timings are the a plate, and for the moon that had a date. And in the Qianlong period, actually clocks were introduced. Therefore, the a sundial or moondial actually later on became just a display. So we talk about that the gate actually were not opened at the a center place of the palace.
这3层戏台，它们上中下还各有专称，分别叫做福台、露台、
So here we look at actually this is the stage. We talk about actually in the inner court. This is also the a very specific stage for the emperor to enjoy the opera. So we look at this is actually the building with the 3 stories. That's the for the stage. So the emperor always enjoy the Peking opera here. And we talk about the taxes for a opera here. This is a very special and also well known a play. So we talk about in Qing Dynasty, actually, they also have the a series of plays where the opera actually that should be played for the couple days. So they also have the a folk tale also played here for the emperors. And also here you look at this is also the well we talk about the performers. So look at this is the way how they play. So you look at this is they played to bring the performers that's going through the different floors. And also we talk about that the play or the opera require the water scene, and they also have that places to play with the water. And they also have the places that also can transport the prop. So we talk about that the stages you look at actually this is all actually have that impeded flow actually from the different stage. So we talk about that the first floor, that's the we talk about the journey to the west. That's the first floor actually back then for one scene that's considered as the very snowing, icy the floor, and also the Tang monk actually was captured by the monster, and that is the places he actually can hide himself in the basement part. That's the well part. So that's the basically show you that the Tang monk actually was captured, and also from the same well that the monster also can going up to play its part. So we look at this is a very giant opera performing stages. Of course, the dramas or the operas not really require that 3 stages. A lot of performers actually just staged at the first 2, especially the first layer of the building. But still, we talk about, so this is really the smart building because they have the wells, and also they can actually have the use the rope to bring the performers from the second stage to the ground stage. And they also have that well, so that's basically can show you that a person trapped or captured. That's the required by the attacks of the play. So we talk about this is really a tremendous and remarkable the building, and also we talk about for the new year, the emperor, the imperial families always enjoy some dramas or the operas performed here. And we'll talk about the Qing dynasty. Actually, these kind of the stages or the operas actually not always played at one the stage. So the opera actually played here, and the some play actually played in the drama stage in a different palace. So we talk about in the different palace areas, they always have the opera stage inside their the palace area. All right, we returned the same way we came. So we talk about here inside the Ningshou Palace area. Actually, this is the quite convenient because we look at a different palace, different building, quite near to each other. And this place we call the Leshou Tang. So we talk about that's the hall of happiness and longevity. So this is the made by the Qianlong Emperor. Is either his choice of the calligraphy for practice or the words he actually followed from the others. So basically, this is what we call the choice specimen of a calligraphy or the model of a calligraphy for practice, so made by Qianlong himself. So this actually is well preserved here in Jingsheng Zhai. So we talk about the Jingsheng Zhai actually is the from its name shows like Qianlong first respect to the seniors that he followed their calligraphy style, and the senior or the well-known people that the Emperor Qianlong actually practiced his own calligraphy. We talk about actually the arrangement actually also to follow the similar design in the old summer palace. The summer palace were burnt because of the war, and we could not really find that design anymore in summer palace. But we look at it here, this is the quite similar design compared to the Jinhuaxun in the summer palace. And this is the Taihu Lake stones. And we'll also look at the bottles, the two bottles made by the coppers. And we talk about the red copper, the works actually is produced in Qianlong period. So we look at all these, actually the works also follow the old work styles. So basically it means that the first made and then it's the worn out. So it's look not really have that oily shiny the shiny look. So look at with that very subtle matte look. So we talk about the building actually is built for Qianlong for his retirement. So he considered these places as his residence after his retirement. So we are heading to the Hall of Happiness on Longevity, and we will go inside the hall. And right now, because this is the still COVID-19 period, we need to wear masks for containment measures. So we look at this is a carpet hung on the columns of the hall. So we talk about that this is the Hall of Happiness Longevity. So we talk about that for the first part of the couplet. Let's talk about the happiness. So talk about people should have the good moral practice. And also we talk about the Emperor Gaozong actually is famous for his longevity, and also Qianlong quite admire his practice and his longevity as well as his life in his retirement. And for the second part of the couplet, he said that he would like to celebrate the longevity together with the civilians. And also have a very nice place to stay, to spend the retirement time. We look at we have this kind of the separation. So this is separation. You look at it is dedicated with different pattern. And that's the also have the meaning of longevity, and also that's the from the cloisonne. So use this kind of the separations. They separate this quite large space into different functions, different rooms. So we also found that they have a second floor. And also the ground floor. So look at this is divided into two parts, the upper part and lower part. And also actually this kind of the architecture, we talk about a two-layered building or the two-storage building actually first started from the southern part of China, and then bring and someone brought this kind of the structure to the northern part of China. So you can see actually in the Qing Dynasty, this is a quite a popular trend, the architecture features. And once again, you look at all these patterns and also the details, all convey the two very key message: is happiness and longevity. So we talk about there are three very giant pieces of jade carving or jade sculpture. So because they are quite large in size and very heavy in weight, so these three pieces of the jade sculptures actually have never been moved after they placed where they were. Even when the other cultural hierarchies actually moved to the southern part of China during the wartime, these three pieces never moved. So talk about right now, you can see that we have quite many people visiting here. And also, once again, because of COVID-19 containment measures, please always keep social distancing and wear masks. And we look at this is the second piece of the jade carving, and the previous one used the Hetian jade, and we look at this one. This is around 1,500 kilograms. So look at these details, these very, very fine tuning details. Actually, also tell the story that the two kids actually climbing the mountains to find the medicine ingredients. So this is also we call the Jade Mountains. So the jade actually all from Hetian places. And a craftsman from Yangzhou made all these works. So when the Qianlong Emperor received these jade works, he's in his 70s. So we talk about that the water means that the happiness as immense as the Eastern Sea. And also that I hope people can live as long as the mountains. So once again, still the happiness and longevity seemed. So we talk about that we always wish people that may their age be as the Mount Tai and happiness as the Eastern Sea. So that's the previous two jade work convey the key message. And this one, this is the third jade carving work. Look at the very subtle fine details. You could tell that the ancient craftsmanship, they really owned advanced techniques to make these really the meticulous details, these spectacular details. And this is talk about the story that King Yu deal with the flood. So we talk about Da Yu actually is made his effort to deal with the flood. So basically, later on, he tried his best, work with the people and control the flood. We talk about this work actually lasted for 3 years just for transport. And we talk about actually when the Tianlong received this jade, and he talked about he would like to have this storytelling on the jade, and also the people started to do the scratch. So the design sketch approved by Tianlong, the sketch and the jade actually moved to the Yangzhou for the actual carving work. So they actually have that model. So that model actually built by the waxiness. So that's a waxy model also together with the design sketch and with the jade. So Yangzhou. And also we look at the mountain or the one of the jade that represents the mountain. So later on, they also have that the poem carved on the jade. So the pieces actually from the very beginning, from the sketch to the finished, lasted for 10 years. So we talk about all these 3 carving work actually related to Yangzhou. We talk about the first, a quite good high quality jade from Xinjiang province, that's Hetian. And for the Yangzhou, actually famous for carving these large size of jade. So we look at in Qing Dynasty, Yangzhou, the carving workers own the very high techniques. And here we also look at the another couplets. So the couplets hang on the columns of the wall of the hall. So we had the one at the front gate or the front room, and this is another one. So we talked about before the Hall of Happiness and the longevity actually before were built in the Summer Palace. To celebrate his mom's birthday. And we talk about the Tianlong actually quite admire the Emperor Gaozong, but actually he also mentioned in these couplets saying that his purpose to build up this hall of happiness and longevity is very different from the Emperor Gaozong. So we look at the stove. So they hold that a peach. So that's the basically the 3 beasts together hold a peach. So we talk about when we celebrate the elderly people's birthday, we always use peach to represent longevity and wish them longevity. And also from that the small dedication, it also conveyed a message saying that the Emperor Tianlong also before wish he could live to 100 years old. So this is the a 顾和轩, and you could consider this is actually a reading palace for the emperor. So we look at this turtles, and Chinese culture. This also represents longevity. So look at this pattern. Actually, it's similar as the a turtle. That's also convey the a similar message here. So we talk about longevity through the main theme here, and we also look at the a couplet. So that's the welcoming couplets. So here is talk about actually the seed that started to grow. That basically means that the spring is here. So that represents the a vibrant and a growing season coming to us. So that represents the a vigorous renewal of the new season. So we talk about that always linked to spring. So we look at another piece of couplets. This also talk about the a spring season. So people may have that question: why the Qianlong Emperor link the longevity to spring, to this specific season? So Qianlong Emperor also would like to write the a mortality of a spring season in his poem. Talk about the a nice people or people with a good ability that can enjoy a long life. So talk about that people should always have a good moral integrity. So the people that have a good integrity, that they can enjoy a long life. So we talk about spring as always the season to kick off everything. So the winter is quite cold, but that spring actually bring that warmth. We talk about in this very cold season, but nothing can stop the pace of spring coming to us. So that from this really cold days, but actually that's the time that spring actually is born from this really cold weather. So that's always represents the a full of vigor. That's the feature of spring season. So we look at this is the horizontal inscribed board. So the letter on the board are actually talk about the function of the room. So we talk about this kind of round shape gate is the moon gate. So talk about that the a bright moonlight and also the a blaze that the is something admired by Emperor Qianlong or he enjoyed a lot. So he always would like to bring these natural sceneries in his the places of residence or his poem. So we talk about there's also a smaller scale stage for the opera or drama, the play. So we look at this is also the paintings on the wall. To actually, this is a scene that actually captured of the New Year celebration. So look at a family reunion is also like the young kids actually playing on the ground. And also we look at the couplet. Inside the painting, it also conveyed a similar message from Emperor Qianlong. He said he would like to enjoy the long life together with his civilian, and also that still the longevity linked to the season of spring. So this is another gate, but you look at the shape. So it's like the vase. So we talk about that's the vase gate. Right now we are heading to the gate at the north part of the palace area. So this is Ningshou Palace area. So that's a cluster of the halls and the palace. And then we are heading to the very north part of the Ningshou Palace area. So we talk about that this is also the places to the museum of treasures. But still, this is not the gate, the exit of the palace museum. Actually, this is just the gate of the Ningshou Palace area. So we talk about the building to the right hand side. That's the buildings actually for the sons of the emperor. So that's the residence of the emperor's sons. So we are heading to the south part. We'll reach the very north of the palace museum. So we talk about that's the Shenwumen or the gate of divine prowess. So we talk about the Shenwumen or Wumen. So that's the gate, the Meridian Gate, and the gate of divine prowess. So if you'd like to visit all these gates, please make your appointment online ahead of time because we need to control the traffic followed by the COVID-19 containment measures. So today is a very special day, and that's the first day of the new year. That's the year of the ox. And also my colleagues are also gathering there to give the best wishes to all our viewers. So we are right now heading to Shenwumen. So that's the Gate of Divine Prophets. So this is at the very north of the Palace Museum. And we talk about, we have 21 ticket bundles available at the Wumen, at the Meridian Gate. And look at that, we have the lucky people. They are the first group of the people visiting the Palace Museum this morning. So you look at the officials of the Palace Museum also actually received the visit of the first group of guests this morning. So today is once again a very special day. That's the first day of the new year. Right now China celebrating the new year and the year of the ox. Talk about the old practice inside the Forbidden City. Actually, the Imperial family and also will have the couplets and also the lanterns to celebrate the new year. And they also will have the family dinner. This is a dinner that in the palace. And also right now for each family, we always have that family reunion dinner together. And because of COVID this year, that we may not have that dinner as usual. We talk about that a dinner for the first day of the new year. Actually, that's basically the emperor invited the acclaimed relatives. So we talk about the dishes. Actually, it was also quite various, and also of course they have different kinds of performance going on together with the food. And also because of the vast dishes, and don't worry about the food waste, because all these food will be actually taken by the officials or the performers. Last year, the Palace Museum celebrated its 600th anniversary. And we will continue our endeavor to show you the every aspect of the Forbidden City, because here it always show you the fun tradition of the Chinese culture. Please stay tuned with CGTN. We'll bring you more. And here you can see our colleagues waiting here in line to give the best wishes to our viewers. And once again, our colleagues here right now waiting at the gate. That's the Meridian Gate, or called the Wumen. That's for this morning. Right now, they are waiting at the Shenwumen. That's the very north gate of the Paris Museum. So that's the Gate of Divine Prophets. So you look at our colleagues also actually with that Chuntiao in hand. That's basically the best wishes. So these are all the people involved in the live streaming in the past 1 year. So we talk about this year is a very special year because people actually overcame difficulties for COVID-19 containment efforts. So a lot of people actually choose to stay put to celebrate this year's New Year. So we would like to also, on behalf of the people here in the Paris Museum, to wish you a happy New Year. So stay safe and also with a auspicious year and always good news coming to you and always actually with a good health and a good luck not only with you and also your families, and also you can achieve a good results in the new year. And once again, Happy New Year. Wish you a prosperous year, the year of the ox.